One of the most common questions I get is how much does it cost to study in Canada? The truth is, it's not a one size fits all. To study in Canada as an international student depends on a number of factors, which I'm going to be talking about in this video today. And at the end of this video, I'm also going to give you guys tips on how to successfully demonstrate your proof of funds to the visa officer to increase your chances of getting approved. So you want to stick around till the end because this video promises to be very helpful. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Selin Chibuzo, and on this channel, I break down all you need to know about studying, living, and thriving in Canada. I also like to share my knowledge and life experiences. If this sounds like something you like, why don't you go ahead and hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that you get notified whenever I post more videos. And for my old subscribers, thank you guys so much for always showing up and supporting this channel. So like I mentioned earlier, the cost of studying in Canada is not a one size fits all. It depends on a lot of factors, and the first one I want to be talking about is your choice of program and the length of your program. So different programs of course will cost differently, right? If you're coming here to do like a BSc program, which is going to be taking you like 3 to 4 years, you definitely expect to pay higher than somebody who is going to come to do like a 1-year diploma or a certificate program, or somebody who wants to do a master's. So the cost of studying is also affected by this thing I just mentioned. Now you want to know, what kind of program are you taking? What's the cost of my tuition? What is the duration of my studies? All this will affect how much you're going to spend to study in Canada as an international student. The next thing you want to consider is your living expenses. So IRCC have updated the required living expenses to study in Canada. My advice is always go to IRCC's website to check to see what the current proof of funds is as at the day you're submitting your application. What somebody you know used in January could no longer be obtainable now. Even what you used like 2-3 months ago for those who were denied might no longer be obtainable. Things change every day. So your best bet will be to go to their website to see what the current proof of funds is as at the day you want to apply, and factor that in your application. And what you see on IRCC's website is your 1-year living expenses, okay? So if you're coming to study for 2 years, for 3 years, you're required to show that you have money for your 1-year living expense for the first year. It doesn't end there. While you're showing that you have money for your 1 year, you need to demonstrate or let the visa officer know your plans financially. Let them know how you intend supporting yourself for the subsequent years. Okay, that's why you see they deny some people's visa, because they say you're not able to prove that you're able to take care of yourself while studying in Canada without having to work. They know that as a student you could work for a limited number of hours, but they don't want you to bank on that. They need you to show that even without working, you're able to take care of yourself as an international student in Canada. So this is one thing you guys want to keep in mind. The third thing you want to check out is your travel expenses and other expenses that could be attached to that. So you're going to come to Canada. I don't know what your country of residence is, but you need to show that you have money for your flight ticket from your country to Canada. While you're processing your visa application, they could ask you to go and do your medicals, your biometrics. You need to show that you have money for all of this, because you take money from your account, right, to go and do all of these. So however you're putting your proof of fund, let this also be factored in there. They need to see that you can transport yourself to Canada and that you have money to do your medicals, your biometrics, and all that. So you don't want to put your only your school fees or your living expenses. You also want to add this into your consideration when calculating or factoring your proof of funds. The fourth thing you want to consider is your marital status. Are you single or are you married? This will go a long way to determine how much you need to study in Canada. So they also have on IRCC's website how much it will cost you to study in Canada if you're more than one person, if you have a family of 2, family of 3, 4, depending. And when they mean family, they mean yourself, your spouse, and your dependents. That's your children, okay? You want to consider all of these before you apply for your study permit. If you have more than 2 children, 3 children, of course, your proof of funds will be higher than somebody who is a single applicant. So if you're single, you're just caring for yourself alone, you need to show your proof of funds for yourself, especially if you're self-sponsoring. If you have someone who is sponsoring you or co-sponsoring you, they'll show living expenses for yourself alone, your proof of funds as well. And they should also show the source of their funds. I made a video about visa officers notes in my channel. I encourage you guys to really watch that video because in that video I shared real refusal notes of people who applied for study permits, and a lot of them focused on financial. So it's going to help you to see their mistakes and know how to repackage and re-strategize when you're submitting your application to increase the chances of approval, especially now that IRCC is trying to reduce the number of visas they are issuing. You want to make sure that your application is properly packaged to increase your chances because, to be honest, it's highly competitive. Okay. Now, another thing you're also checking aside from being married is, are you coming with your family or are you coming alone? If you're coming with your family, the price is totally different from somebody who is coming alone. So if you're coming alone and your spouse is going to be in your country, either you're the wife coming to study, your husband will stay back in your country with your kids, or you're the husband coming to study, your wife will stay back in your country with your kids. Aside from showing your own living expenses in Canada, you need to demonstrate that you still have sufficient money to take care of your family back home. Canada is a family oriented place. They do not believe that because you're coming to study in Canada, your family's life will be on hold or that your children will suffer. You need to show them that coming to Canada will not deplete your family funds or it will not make you unable to meet your financial responsibility or your financial obligations to your family. Okay. That's why you see a lot of people getting denied. Sometimes you will see things like you've been denied because you're not able to show that you can take care of yourself and your family members, whether they are accompanying you or not. Some people get confused. They're like, I'm not coming with my family. I'm coming alone. I had enough money for one person. Why are they refusing me? That's because you're married. You have children. You have a spouse. Whether they're coming with you or not, you need to show that you're still able to take care of them even while studying in Canada. So you can do that by showing, let's say you have a business, you guys have their wife is working or your husband that is staying back is also working, you have income, or probably you had like work or study leave, something like that. You had study leave, you came here to study, you're still going to be having income, something like that. You should be able to show that, okay, while I'm studying, this is income will still have, my children will not suffer, they still have this amount for themselves and all that. And then if you're coming with your family, it's also a different ball game. Coming here with family will also require you to show their flight tickets. So you don't need to also calculate only your flight expenses. You're going to calculate flight expenses for yourself and everybody that is going to accompany you to Canada. So all of these things are what you need to consider when you're calculating your cost of study to Canada. And when you come to Canada, you're also going to rent. You might not get a house immediately. Some people end up getting a temporary accommodation, a hotel, Airbnb, things like that. These are expenses that you want to factor in. I made a video on my channel about how to rent a house in Canada. That video will really help you, especially if you're new to Canada. In that video, I explained how you can search for house even when you're not in Canada. So while you're even budgeting, you can go online to see how to search for accommodation where your school is located so that you have an idea of what the renting costs within that area. It will help you to budget and plan accordingly. One important thing you guys need to know is that IRCC is very much interested in your source of funds. So while you have calculated how much you need and you have the funds readily available, you want to show the source of this fund. Let it be very clear and explanatory to the visa officer. It should make logical sense to the visa officer because if you're not able to prove this, they will still deny your visa. They will assume you borrowed the money or the money is not yours. Like, it needs to be clear to them. And so that's it, guys, for today. I've come to the end of this video. I hope you found it helpful as always. If you have any question, please don't forget to drop it in the comment section and I'll be more than happy to answer you guys. Bye.